Hi, thanks for stopping by. My name is Helgi, and with my channel Bicycle Love World, I'm exploring what's going on in the bicycle scene worldwide. In today's video, we dive into the world of bicycle art. We meet Juliane Bortz, a young German artist who specializes in drawing and painting on bicycle frames and parts. You'll find links to her website and Instagram account in the description below this video in case you want to get in touch with her about her work. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering what's going on behind me, well, keep an eye on my channel and you'll find out soon. And now, without further ado, hi Jule, can you introduce yourself to us?
I can. Yeah, I'm Jule, I'm 30 years old. I'm originally from somewhere in East Germany, let's say. Yeah, the closest city is Rostock. It's at the Baltic Sea. Yeah, I'm a trained fashion designer, but I took some different direction and I'm now mainly working in the cycling industry. It was not really an idea which came to my mind. I remember that I had a knee injury because I already had one. And I think I just really got into cycling and then I got this knee injury and I was like so yeah, sad that I couldn't go cycling and go out with my friends and do all these fun stuff. And I was just sitting at home and I felt like a little bit miserable with myself. And then I kind of needed a project and then I got a second-hand fixed gear frame in Berlin. And I was like, yeah, I just gonna buy some pens and I just gonna draw on my frame and make it like really unique, and this is gonna be my project, and then once I'm over this knee injury I'm gonna cycle with it. And yeah, and then that was my first frame I painted, and it took me like I don't know, it took me days, and I really started really small paintings, and yeah, it kept me occupied with something. And then I posted it on Instagram, and then yeah, I started with Idrawonbikes. So I have like two different techniques, which I'm basically now specialized in. So I either use pens, and I have a favorite brand. It's the Molotov pen, and it's an acrylic marker. It comes with different tips, so you can change it, so you have different kinds of lines, and it's important to, it depends on what you want to do on the frame or on the bike part, and then you need different like styles of lines. And so I work with these kind of pens, which you can also, like, you can mix your own paint in the sense of that you can have your own shades. So this is one thing, I use pens, or I use paint, basically the same paint, and I use brushes and I do like brush work. So this is the paint side of the project. And then of course you need your bike frame or wheel, and then some gloves and stuff, and then in the end you just clear coat it, and then you can ride your bike again. No, you can't, because it depends. Like, there are different techniques, but in the end you always have to clear coat your part. So I wouldn't paint on like a chain ring. I did that as well, but like, there's a lot of wear to this part, and I think it doesn't really make sense. I once painted saddles as well, bike saddles, but also there's so much rubbing, and like you can't really you can't really use it in the end. And I'm a big fan of functionality, so that I can use the part in the end, and it's not like an art piece you hang onto your wall. Yeah, so there's limitation. Yes, if I compare to my first frame and my abilities then, I would say it's difficult, and I needed a lot of training. But if you do it a lot, you automatically get better, because so if you paint on a piece of paper, it's a flat surface, and you just draw. But a bike is round; it's very three-dimensional, and sometimes your hand is just in the air all the time, and you need to have like a really stable hand. I discovered. Yeah, so it needs a lot of practice, that you have like a very steady hand and very steady lines. So yeah. I did both. So either people contact me via Instagram and have like a project, or I did buy parts and then try to sell it, but this is a little bit tricky because there's such a big variety of parts and stuff, and people want to choose it themselves. So that was not really working. And right now I'm just working with companies who want to do projects with me. No, because I have like different topics I'm working with, let's say, which changed over the years. I think in the beginning it was like very comic, and I painted real objects, which were maybe also bike related. I mean, what is it? I don't know, like some streets or like parts of the bike on the bike, and like very bike related stuff. And then I kind of like went into the really abstract part of like, then I had this idea, why not having an abstract painting on your bike? And then I really went crazy with paint and really just splashed it on. And now I think it's a mix between like abstract stuff. I also like to paint mountains and waves and like the things which I cycle, like the topics which I am interested in, like the nature, for example. And yeah, and also this brushwork is also like a different style. I did a complete bike with just these leaves, but very abstract. It was very like, just looked like a big pattern, but like every piece I painted with my hand, and it took me like, I don't know, 18 hours or something like that. So it's a variety, and like every bike is different, and I'm a person, I always want to do something new. So I always try to mix things up. Yes, I also paint on other things. I think my most recent project was a surfboard for my partner, which was super fun because it was a flat surface and it was big. So I could really have a big motive, and that was super fun. So I did surfboards, but I also did walls, like graffiti mural things. I painted shoes, I painted helmets, and that's it, I think. I have some other projects. So I don't even like, my designs are not only on bikes, but I also design for, I design cycling clothes. I design for cycling clubs who want something special or like my style and they want to wear it, something like this. So I do like some graphic stuff as well. And then back in Germany, I founded a messenger collective, and we are delivering goods in the city. And I think that's 2 years ago, and that I started cycling there, or like messaging there. And I'm still kind of part of it because I kind of founded with it and I can't really let go. But yeah, so I'm a messenger as well, and we're creating this collective there, which is for me really important because it gives, like, I see a lot of value in this work because I can actively, or we actively change the city for something better because we don't really need that many cars in the city. And so this is for me the perfect mix of, like, yeah, I don't know, some active work and then some design work, so to speak. Yes, a lot of my friends actually, they are also into art or design and cycling. And I think I started noticing this coexistence when in Berlin we did an exhibition. And this exhibition was called, this exhibition was called Art Bike Fair. And we said we only invite people who either artists and cycle or cyclists who make art. And we had this really interesting mix of people who, yeah, like a lot of messenger people were there, and also just random artists who think that tandem bikes are super aesthetic, and they did like blueprints about it. And you're like, okay, that's a special interest, but yeah, come. And so the interest in this exhibition was also really big. So I saw like, yeah, people really, there's a connection. And then, yeah, I think I also gather a lot of people around me or as my friends who are interested in these two things because, yeah, because I think you draw the people then towards you, or you, exactly like that. Yeah, and so, yeah, I think it's, it makes a lot of sense in my world. Yes. Yes. It should always be used. A bike should always be used. Yeah. Well, then you can say maybe it's not an art piece because, yeah, it's an interesting conversation because, yeah, is it then more like just a piece of design because it has this functionality? But I definitely created some bike frames which you can definitely just put on the wall and have it there. So it's a kind of hybrid. But I think this, like this object, a bike, has so much value to us, or brought so much value and brought so much freedom. It's really a cool thing.